Hi there, and welcome to this video series. My name is Emily. I am the Growth Marketing Manager for Powell Teams here at Powell Software. In this video, we will look at Teams creation by end users. There are two ways to create teams in Microsoft Teams. The first one, we call it self-service, where employees can create teams freely. On the other hand, closed service is when IT teams control the creation of each new team. Unfortunately, these two methods have a direct impact on your team's environment. I would like to welcome Anthony McGuinness, our Senior Pre-Sales at Powell Software, who will tell you all about it.
Thanks, Emily. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I think this is really important to talk about, especially in the concept of just having too many teams and really understanding the governance and the flow of data within Microsoft Teams itself. So when we talk about the two types of creations for teams, or the methodologies, you really do have just the open and closed. With an open stream, you're really just giving all access to your employees, which makes a lot less overhead, at least initially, for your administrators. But what ends up happening is when employees can make every team, you're taking up different namespaces. You have teams that are becoming redundant, teams that are being created and never actually used. And when you start thinking about governance and having some type of standardization, this becomes very, very cumbersome, especially as teams starts to scale. Now, when we think of closed, this is the other side of the coin. So with closed, it is nicer that you have full control of the process of creating teams, but this is typically done by doing a form, by having to have extra steps taken on by whatever administrator is running teams, and it creates a lot of overhead that's typically not necessary. Really, your best place is to be right in the middle of the two.
Thank you, Anthony. Now that we have a clear idea of the consequences it has on our team's environment, can you explain how IT leaders can avoid these scenarios?
I think the best answer that you can come up with is creating a more standardized approach that offers guardrails that allows you to be in the middle of both an open and a closed environment. Still give your employees the ability to create and manage their own teams, but have standardization in where they have to answer certain questions, certain privacy and other governance measures are already applied. You don't impact the users and their ability to create a team, but now you can start to put in those important steps, including if you want to do something along the lines of an approval process, but make that seamless and easy instead of filling out forms, doing different sort of manual steps. Bring it all together, keep it seamless, but keep all of that important governance intact. When you think of using a truly balanced governance approach and those guardrails, what you're trying to do is really apply something along the lines of a template approach that allows you to start putting important governance measures in place, private and public, as far as the team. Are guests allowed? Can you have external users? Do you want to have expiration dates? Do certain templates have approvals, whereas other ones can automatically be made? And then you can also start to have very simple things like tagging different teams, so you can start to track and understand what type of teams are being created, how your environment is growing, and you have more data points that will allow you to make better, impactful decisions moving forward. Automation is a great process to put in place, and it doesn't have to be arduous or time heavy. So what you can do with Powell Teams is simply define who you'd like to have as your approver. It can be as granular as saying just the next direct report up in the org chart, or you can have it be something along the lines of a team, a specific user, and you can even have a people manager approving just for their team. So you can get very granular. And that can be done through Powell Teams itself, or we have a card system that will notify as soon as a pending approval is done, and you can see it on the screen now. Um, really simplifying that process and not requiring you to have to do a lot of extra steps, fill out a lot of forms, and have some type of flow going. And then on top of that, we actually have a full API. So if you do have another ticketing system that people are familiar with, ServiceNow, Jira, whatever it may be, you can actually use that still as your front end and just have Powell Software take care of the actual creation and all that standardization. So a lot of options, but gets you a lot of different opportunities to make the best process for your organization.
Thank you very much. Powell Teams seems to be a great tool for IT teams, right? Anthony, in short, can you highlight the benefits of Powell Teams?
Well, there's definitely a lot of benefits. The ones that I would really focus on, and you can see the visual in front of you, is really just simplifying the process of creating team. We focused on a lot of the governance pieces, but of course, there's also the ability to make advanced templates and to add in other features to your teams that typically would take time to do. Even as simple as being able to pre-upload all the documents necessary for a specific type of team, like a project team, having the approval process in place and already having predefined governance so that none of that has to be changed or checked later on. It really creates a better environment when you think of like the workload for your IT team to manage everything, as well as your user base being able to quickly make teams and not have to worry about if they're compliant or if they're doing it in the right way. It's adaptable, it's scalable, and it's something that you can continue to build and iterate on, make changes as you move forward and new challenges are brought forth. And then all together, just bring it in and have a good experience for your team's environment and bring down a lot of that extra unnecessary time it takes to do a lot of the management, creation, and the full life cycle being the expiration, retiring of teams as well. So really appreciate your time and thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. We now know how to use Microsoft Teams at its full potential and how Powell Teams can help us save time. If you are watching this video as an IT administrator, or you would like to know more about your team's environment, we invite you to watch our other videos in the same series or to contact us for a personalized health check of your environment. Thank you. See you in the next video.